I'm going to talk today about functional fitness. Functional fitness is based on the concept that what you do in the gym should carry over into the real world. Biceps curls on the Knowledge machine have little to do with how we actually move and use our bodies outside the gym. In technical terms, we want to do large muscle group compound actions utilizing multiplanar movement with high carryover capacity to real-life situations. In layman's terms, do stuff better. If you train for real-life scenarios, you'll be more able to do those things. Fitness incorporates many variables, and a functional fitness program should embody those variables. They are cardiovascular respiratory endurance, strength, power, stamina, flexibility, coordination, balance, accuracy, speed, agility. The following video clips demonstrate a few basic functional movements common to all humans. Being proficient in all these movements will allow you to maintain your independence longer, keeping you out of the old folks' home. In most of these movements, it's you against gravity. When you sit down, can you get up? When you fall down, can you get back up on your own? Can you lift an object up off the floor? Can you place an object over your head and onto a shelf? These are activities of daily living that wane with age. The first concept to understand is the neutral spine, and we'll begin there. The neutral spine is demonstrated here using a PVC pipe. I'm maintaining the lumbar and cervical curves, and this is the movement that I hope you'll visualize throughout the additional movements that I'm demonstrating. The simplest, of course, is just being able to get into and out of a chair. You can use your arms for balance, but not for support. The next progression then would be sitting on a lower object. Here we're using a medicine ball. Notice that the chest is up, the hips go back, and the knees stay out over the toes. The next progression is an air squat, same concept without anything underneath you. We then progress to the push movements, or the front squat. Front squat is with the elbows up, staying parallel to the ground. Again, chest is up. I'm maintaining the lumbar and cervical curves of the spine. And we progress lastly to the overhead squat, which incorporates the shoulders, requiring additional flexibility and stability in the trunk and spine. In the push movements, we start with a strict press, where no other joints are used other than the shoulder and the elbow. We progress to a push press, which allows a dip and then a drive up that allows you to get heavier weights up off of the shoulders. And we then progress from here to the push jerk, which is essentially a double dip, where you're going to press up to get the bar off the shoulders, and then again in order to lock out the elbows. This comes in handy with even heavier weights. This is the push jerk. The next progression, or the last progression that I demonstrate, is the split jerk. This is the second movement of the clean and jerk of the Olympic lifts, the other Olympic lift being the snatch, which I don't demonstrate here. Moving on, we're going to begin the lifting series. Are you able to lift an object up off the floor safely? And you can see here that I'm maintaining the neutral spine that I've been talking about, with the knees out over the toes, the chest is upright, and the hips are moving back. And whether it's a ball or a kettlebell or a barbell, and whether you're lifting with two hands or with one hand, that same movement should be employed using the neutral spine. I frequently see people bending over with a rounded lower back, which is essentially inviting injury. The deadlift here with the barbell is one of the most important lifts and is one of the chief ways that people injure themselves because you're able to lift so much weight. They compromise their technique by rounding the low back, which is just inviting injury. As we move on into the pull-up series, the modification is the ring row, which then takes us into the banded pull-up or an assisted pull-up. I'll demonstrate the strict pull-up next, and finally the kipping pull-up, which is a way to utilize the hips to help get your upper body up over the bar. Moving on into the pressing or pushing series. This is a modification of a push-up. This is the simplest variation. A more complex variation would be pushing from an elevated object. And you can see where we're going with this, to the floor, a modified press-up. Notice that the chest, the hips, and the thighs come off the ground at the same time. That's the ideal variation. I see a lot of other versions where you're pressing up the chest first, and then the hips come up, and then the thighs. This is a more complex or complicated version, which is sort of an intermediate step between the push-up and the handstand push-up. I demonstrate a strict handstand push-up here, and then the kipping push-up, using those hips again to help get your body up off the ground. The last movement I demonstrate is the muscle up. This is a complex version. I hope you enjoyed watching.